Yo,
Hello, welcome to 5 Pounds of Gunt. Uh, Here in the stormy Minnesota summer weather, we may lose power again tonight. I have no idea. We'll see what happens, but so far I'm back to normal. But we're here. We just watched Monday Night Raw for the first time. I haven't
yeah,
watched Raw like it is like full in fuck a
it's
year.
been months. I don't know. It's been months for me at least.
I think it was
Um,
last year's. I don't even think I watched the Raw before WrestleMania last, or even the Raw after WrestleMania. So it's at least
oh
fuck
wow.
at least over a year for me to watch a full Raw.
Yeah, well, I'll probably watch it again next week. But fuck, it's pretty heinous here for the go home show for Raw. I
Yeah,
gotta
no,
say, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania at all. There
no.
were no stars on this show.
Well,
You know.
even and like you can blame this shit on COVID all you want, but even last year's WrestleMania felt a little bit like Mania because you had Undertaker, you had John Cena, and you had a ton of build up. And Raw, was weirder back then. There was fucking no crowd. It was super dead. The presentation was worse than it is now. But fuck, this is just the drizzling shits, right? Like
Oh,
this is
well,
after.
the biggest issue is the amount of commercials. I swear to God, there's over an hour of commercials on the show.
There has
Like
to
it
be
felt like half the show was a fucking commercial break. It was like an hour and a half of commercials.
at
I'd
least.
like to, I'd like to know if somebody would get a fucking timer out and time it. Like how much of the show was fucking straight up commercials or like
Well,
tie-ins with Snickers or tie-in.
we don't even have to wait for that. We can just when this fucking goes up on PW torrent, it'll have the runtime and they'll cut the commercials out of that shit for us torrent fans
Oh,
here. You go on XW torrents or PW torrents or whatever. And fuck, this is like what the fuck? Like they're making money off of this shit, right? This is like, they're milking this
well,
shit for all it's worth, dollar for dollar, but your TV deals are so good. Like, do you really need this many? Like, at least give us two
Well,
hours of
that's why it's 3 hours long. The show is 3 hours long, so they can fucking pack it with commercials. Um, but
yeah,
what's sad is they have such a huge roster to fill these 3 hours with.
and
And
they
who the
don't.
fuck was even on this show? It felt like there was only like maybe 8 segments to this show.
Well,
I'll count
there
off
was
the amount
eight
of segments.
segments, and four and like half of those segments were just McIntyre, Lashley, and Ms. Bad Bunny. Right? Like they comprise half. Like Miz and Bad Bunny got 3 segments. Lashley and McIntyre got 3 segments and a recap. They all get multiple recaps. If you cut every recap and repeat of what has already been said, this show is an hour and a half. Really? Is it not?
So it's about that. I mean, it might have been maybe an hour and 45 minutes at best. Um, but yeah, it was fucking more like almost half of the show, I would say, was commercials, and it just drains the shit out of you.
It
Um,
does.
I was almost falling asleep fucking the first hour. It's like it sucks
Yeah.
the life out of you, this fucking wrestling, the WWE, and there's just no excitement. The Raw before WrestleMania should be a really good show. I mean, a lot of them haven't been good shows, but
They should
I
be
remember
at
there
least
were.
acceptable shows. I mean, I've watched a couple Raw before WrestleManias right before I went for a couple of them, and they're just usually actually the go home shows for stuff are usually worse than the after
Yeah,
shows because it's like
yeah.
everyone they don't even put effort in because they don't know how many people are going to watch this because they're just going to watch WrestleMania this week. Because fuck, if you're a normal person, you're going to really watch 3 hours of Raw on top of 2 nights of WrestleMania. Really?
Well, but you're looking at no, but look at the schedule for this week. Raw on Monday, Takeover
You
Wednesday and Thursday.
Hall of Fame tomorrow. Got
SmackDown's is the Hall of Fame
the
tomorrow?
Hall of Fame's tomorrow. It's Tuesday, bitch.
I
It's a
thought it
fucking
was Saturdays.
It's a
Oh fuck!
2 night Hall of Fame.
What a 2 night Hall of
Well,
Fame?
it's a 1 night Hall of Fame, but there's two inductees. They're doing the 2020 and the 2021 class, so it's like a fucking extra long Hall
What?
of Fame. Yeah, they're doing essentially two
What?
Hall of
So
Fame.
JBL can do a speech? Is that why?
So you can get the NWO and all the people they were doing do this year too. Man, I might watch it just to see Liger get in, but that's like fucking. I think they're putting Ozzy Osbourne in and William Shatner. It's like
William Shatner is 90 years old. Is he
it's
going to be
gonna be
there in person?
so base. I can't wait for him to come out and do his stupid.
I
Hall.
guess I'll watch the Hall of Fame. I guess. Fuck. I don't
I'm
know. I
not sure I'm gonna watch
usually
all of it.
I usually don't watch the fucking Hall of Fames. I used
No.
to watch them, but then it's just I don't know. It seems cheap. Like there's maybe one person that gets in each year, maybe one or two people that deserve it. The rest of them are just like mid-carders and bums. I mean, you got Great Khali going in this year, for fuck's sake. So I don't know. I'm not really that excited. The takeover, fuck. I don't know why takeover has to be 2 nights. Also, I don't really get that,
because they're doing one. It's tomorrow. Wednesday is the last hurrah for NXT on Wednesdays. This is their last Wednesday show on USA. They're done after this week. They're moving to Tuesdays. They're giving up. They conceded defeat to hockey.
Yeah,
everyone thinks it's for AEW. It's for fucking hockey based.
Fucking they got blown.
They did get blown out, but also hockey is going to BTFO both of them. So they USA is getting hockey instead. So here's who is the lineup for the Hall of Fame this year: JBL, the British Bulldog, Jushin Liger, the NWO, and the Bella Twins.
One of those things is not like the other.
Along with William Shatner.
Well, hold on. I mean, the list isn't bad other than the Bellas being on it. Why are the Bellas going into the Hall of Fame? Because they have a reality TV show?
They put a woman in every year, and like, who's left? This is the bottom of the barrel.
Have these fuckers, like, have they actually gone so low as to induct people like Melina yet and Kelly Kelly?
No,
is this what's next?
Kelly Kelly's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my fucking god!
Warrior Award, Titus O'Neil. This is also the double.
Yeah, so this.
We're not done yet. We're not even done because this is the 2020. Here's the 2021 lineup: Molly Holly, who I've met, very nice lady.
Well, that's more acceptable than fucking the Bella Twins. She's not really a Hall of Famer.
Eric Bischoff, Kane, the Great Khali, Rob Van Dam, and Ozzy Osbourne.
I don't know. The thing is, like, those guys are probably Hall of Famers by the standard that they have set for the Hall of Fame. I can't really argue against any of them. I mean, Khali.
I would argue against Khali, but I would not argue against Kane. I mean, he's definitely Hall of Famer, right?
No, Kane is a Hall of Famer for sure. Kane is like a legitimate, I think, first ballot Hall of Famer with the length of the career he's had and a lot of the moments he's had. Great feuds and stuff like this, stories over his career.
Yeah,
he definitely deserves it. Plus, he became a mayor. So
he probably going to be 2 times. They're probably going to do him, then also Undertaker, and then also going to do Brothers of Destruction.
The Brothers of Destruction.
As a team. I mean, they're going to. I mean, he's going to be a 2-time. Same thing with Undertaker. Undertaker might even be a 3-time. They might do the Ministry as a
Ministry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they put Undertaker in with anybody else? I guess not. Other than those 3.
I'm surprised Undertaker isn't this year, but I'm guessing they're going to wait till they're in Texas next year and do it then. That makes a lot of sense. Do it.
No, it makes sense. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him wrestle again. If they're desperate enough next year, they might put him in the Hall of Fame and have him wrestle a match at the same time.
Yeah.
The Boneyard is a good way for him to end it, though.
I think that's his last match so far. I think that probably is going to be his last match. It's done.
Well, they keep saying it's his last match every fucking year, and I don't believe them. So
yeah,
I don't know that if you ever saw that Undertaker Last Ride documentary, it's just really fucking sad. I wish they didn't put that out because it makes me really pity the Undertaker and it makes him look pathetic that he's sucking in these matches and he keeps going out there and he'll put on a good match and he thinks he's good to go and then he ruins his legacy again. It's fucking terrible, that fucking documentary. I mean, it's an alright documentary. It just makes Undertaker seem like a bit of a bitch. I think
the truth is not something you want to hear about with Undertaker. Just you don't want to see that shit, but we have to see it because we have to embarrass all of our heroes. Next. Yeah, no, that's fucking Hall of Fame. They're giving Titus O'Neil the Warrior Award. We're supposed to go isn't that supposed to go to a non-wrestler or something? Or to a guy. The whole point of the award was supposed to go to some guy in the back, the unsung hero of WWE, the lighting or the stagehand or something. The people who make the thing happen. And then it was, people who have inspirational stories. And now it's they're giving themselves the award. It's congratulations me for doing so much great stuff.
Well, they've given it to Titus because Titus has to do the PR job for Hogan at this year's WrestleMania, where Hogan's going to try his best not to say that drop the N-bomb with the hard R talking to Titus. If he does, it'll be amazing. It'll be the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Yes, the hard R WrestleMania.
Hogan just starts, instead of saying brother, he just calls him boy. Let me tell you something, boy.
Yes.
He starts dog whistling. I don't know. Hogan's fucked. So that's happening at WrestleMania this year. The Hall of Fame, I guess I'll
why is
fucking check
Crime
in.
Time not going in this year? Fucking the one guy died.
Well,
Why is Crime
Time deserves. I don't know if Coco Beware can be in the Hall of Fame. That pretty much anyone can. I think Kofi Kingston will probably end up in the Hall of Fame. Sadly,
Yeah.
Which is pretty.
But
fun.
the guy died from Crime Time. They should at least. I mean, I'm not saying that that's like the thing deserves it, but if this is all just a pity and like a celebrity party, this would be a good time to throw Crime Time in, right? Like maybe I'm insane.
Well,
but...
nobody wants to put Crime Time in because Crime Time is racist and they're trying to fucking fix their reputation. Crime Time is fucked, man. Like there were black people whose gimmick was that they stole and committed crimes in the hood.
Yeah,
I love them, but
that's the Hall of Fame. But I mean, fuck, I need to talk about Raw. What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Raw, AEW, or the WrestleMania card, or the New? You know what? I'll talk about New Japan first. Get this out of the way.
New Japan.
New Japan is fucked. The company is fucked. They've continued to book shitty storylines for the last year or something retarded. Fuck's sake, like this sucks. For like the last 2 years, even like fuck, it's been since I think when Tanahashi lost the belt to Jay White, things were going downhill. Then the booking was just retarded, and now we're here. They've killed the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It's dead. The Intercontinental Championship, the greatest secondary title in wrestling history, is dead. The greatest history, the lineage of the IWGP Championship is dead. And replaced with this pittance, this toy belt that looks like the Divas fucking belt. It looks like the Dragon Quest emblem. It's the Dragon Quest logo, bro. Look, he's got the wings. It's the belt designed by Kota Ibushi, essentially. He's got the wings like he does. It's the angel belt. And you think, fuck. You think, fuck, this is terrible. This is awful. But, at least Ibushi's the champion. They've got a good guy on top who can lead the company, a strong Japanese guy who really represents what New Japan's all about. Their long-term investment in this dude. And you know what the fucking he does? He's got this new belt for... His reign lasted not but really 30-something days. They'll argue since it was the last defense, but I think it lasted since the unveiling of the belt, which was literally earlier this last fucking week. A less than 1 week title reign for Kota Ibushi. Immediately discrediting Kota Ibushi, the new title, as a fucking throwaway title that has no longevity or legacy. And immediately putting the guy, fucking Will Ospreay on top. Ospreay!
I told you about the Japanese wrestling GAHOOLE. I told you, buddy.
It was different. I told you. When we had our debate, it was different back then. But now, you were right. In the end, you were right. I still would rather watch a New Japan show than a Raw because there's no women's wrestling. Or an AEW Dynamite. Because there's no women's wrestling.
Don't you think it's based, though, to shit all over the history of the promotion and the belt to get over Will Ospreay with heel heat? Doesn't that make sense?
You know what's awesome?
Did you hear the headcanon cope that it's imperialism?
Headcanon.
It's genius storytelling because it's American imperialism, GAHOOLE?
Yes. People are pointing out the shit on my face. Yes, I did have an allergic reaction to something today. I'm sorry. I can't get rid of it. I don't have fucking makeup. I didn't put my makeup on before the show, faggots.
I didn't realize you were any different, bro.
That's okay.
I guess they're gay.
Yeah. It's fucking bad, actually. I'm looking at it. But that doesn't matter.
No, buddy.
It doesn't matter. Because Will Ospreay is the future of the company, bro. He's the future. Him and his terrible heel gimmick that doesn't work. Him and his inability to work a heel style. Because his entirely, you know what fucking people bitch about them doing this to Ricochet? They took away Ricochet's special by he could do all that fucking incredible athletic stuff. And then WWE took that away from him when he went to the Fed. Right? When he went up to the main roster, they took away they made him not do the incredible athletic stuff. And guess what? Guess what New Japan does? To Will Ospreay, the savior of wrestling, New Japan. They make him slow down and become a heel. He doesn't do any of the athletic stuff. He doesn't do cool moves. Now, guess what? All he had. His fundamentals are shit. He isn't a good match structurer. He is not a good heel. He's actually a bad heel. And his heel character is really fucking bad. His stable is full of nothing but jobbers and Jeff Cobb.
Well, is it at least getting over with the Japanese fans, buddy?
Yeah. And then he kills his wife for heel heat for no reason. For no fucking reason. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any logical sense. It just done it to make heat. They did something stupid and retarded just to get heat. Oh, what does that sound like? Nothing. It sounds exactly like the Fed. Like, oh, this doesn't make... Why did MVP break up the Hurt Business? Oh, for a heel heat. Right? Even though it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, the Hurt Business breaking up is just fucking retarded, and they need to realize the error of their ways and fix it.
It is retarded. But the reason why is because the Hurt Business was too good and it was getting them over as faces. They realized it and they thought, well, we got to get Bobby Lashley as a heel, so let's break up the Hurt Business now. And you know what? Will Ospreay and Bea Priestley did not even have that level, but they broke it up just to get some heat for fucking Ospreay, who has no heat because he's not a good heel. At the end of the match, people were not booing Ospreay because they can't boo, but they were not. Ospreay was not the main focus at the end of the match. Fucking Kota Ibushi was, and Kazuchika Okada was. He's a transitional champion. He's a nobody compared to Okada and Ibushi. And he still will always be, because he can never be on that level, because he's a fucking mid-card talent who can do flashy, fun, he can do flashy moves and crazy stuff, and is a good junior heavyweight. But you know what? He can't work the heavyweight style. When Omega transitioned over, people doubted him too. But the reality is, he eventually did prove people wrong and worked a good heavyweight style. Ospreay has yet to do that. He has yet to prove anyone wrong.
Well, have you considered that they had to give it to him or he was going to go to AEW?
Who fucking cares? Will Ospreay is not a money mover in Japan. Him being the champion is going to do bad business for him. If Will Ospreay left, the product would be better.
Well, wait a minute. But New Japan knows what they're doing. Isn't it run by, like, that Inoki guy?
No, Inoki left years ago. But even if it was run by Inoki.
When was it last run by Inoki? In the 90s?
Years ago now, man. It's fucking a long time.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I feel bad for the New Japan fans who are really into it. But the thing of it is these New Japan fans are probably defending it and saying it's awesome just because it's from Japan. They have no conception of what's actually good, I imagine. They just believe it's good because it's Japan and they're told to accept it by Meltzer. I don't know how Meltzer feels about it. I think he loves Ospreay, doesn't he?
He does. He's defending this shit. He said the match was excellent. And you know what, the match? It wasn't that excellent. It was pretty mediocre. Not that exciting. The moves were kind of lame. I'm not going to say it's a bad match because it wasn't. I watched it. But you know what? This match had phone heat for me. I was looking at my phone the whole time. I could barely pay attention. Just didn't hold my interest. I did not enjoy the story. There were some spectacular spots and some cool stuff. But the reality is, I just was not invested in what was happening, because guess what? Even if they worked a perfect 5-star match, the characters and the charisma is not there. The character doesn't make sense, and so it's bad. Guess what? That matters. Even work rate's not the end-all be-all. If your character doesn't work, guess what? It sucks. And the character of Will Ospreay sucks.
Boring. The shit's boring. I mean, that's my biggest issue I've had with New Japan and these fucking feds that have the 45-minute technical masterpiece, but I don't know who the fuck these people are. They all look the same. They all act the fucking same. Mm-hmm. And the matches are just fucking boring to me. But I don't know. I imagine if I watched New Japan, I might understand some of the characters. But it's mostly told through the in-ring storytelling. Which
I've watched New Japan for a long time, and they do a lot of character stuff. It's gradual and it's slow, but it does get there. But the problem with this Ospreay stuff, it hasn't made sense at all from the beginning. It continues to make less sense as it goes on, and I got someone in the chat telling me that, you know, last week I said he wasn't going to win, and this week I said he's going to be transitional champion. And you know what? I'm probably wrong, because I have faith in New Japan to do the right thing. I have faith that they'll put the belt back on Okada, which is the smart thing to do. But you know what? They're a retarded company. So you're probably right. Will Ospreay will be champion for years, and it'll be a disaster.
Well, maybe
they should put the belt on Shingo. Why is Shingo not champion? Shingo is a much better wrestler. He's a better looker, better talker. He's got a better character. More over with the fans. He's a younger guy. He's not, like, old. He's about the same age. He's not that much older than Ospreay. You know? He can be just.
Well, I'm still baffled as to why Naito isn't the champion.
Naito's on his way out. He's old. Well, he's fucking beat down.
But I'm baffled as to why, when they gave him the 2 belts, like, he immediately lost it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm baffled about. Like, you would think he would have, like, a year or 2 run on top before he went out and milk it for all it was worth. I don't know why either him or Okada isn't the champion at all times, because they seem to be the only people Maybe Ibushi I kind of like as well, but they seem to be the only people that are actually good. I don't know. Everyone else seems to just be shit to me. They
Well,
don't stand out to me.
you could build guys up. You could build Sonata up. You could build Shingo Takagi. You could build Ishii. There's a ton of guys. You could
Well,
put
did
the
they
belt
make
back.
Evil the champion, for
They
fuck's
did.
sake?
Evil's not a champion in my mind. He's not a fucking world class champion.
Well, that's when I gave up on it, to be honest.
I gave
I
up
was
before
like,
then. I gave up before
yeah,
then. I fucking had less of a stick. Um, no,
I don't
and
know.
listen,
I
I
have
know
no stake in it,
I
but
was a
I
huge
hope
New
it turns
Japan
around.
fan, but I think what they've been doing the last couple months has sucked. It's been bad. And I know people are going to defend it, and that's fine. I hope you enjoy the product, but you know what? It's turning me off, and I'm not enjoying and watching it anymore. And I think, guess what? A lot of the from what I've seen from their attendance numbers, even with COVID, I think it's turning a lot of the normal Japanese fans off too. I think it's pushing away the money. I think it's a bad money making decision long term. I think they're fucking up. You know, they're not able to sell out like they used to, even with the COVID shit. You know, if you discount that, they're still doing bad. Even in the era of COVID, they're doing bad. So
Well, this was a company that was number 2 in the world at one point, that was expanding into America, that was
yeah,
looking like they're going to do the Madison Square Garden thing and all this stuff. And now they're number 3 in the world, and probably less than that. You're saying that some of these Japanese promotions are doing better, like All Japan and
I
stuff like
think
this.
it may not happen overnight, but All Japan may be above New Japan by like I don't know 2023 or 4. When crowds start coming back, All Japan might be the way to go because All Japan still books well from what I've watched their shows. They still do well, but I don't fucking
I,
know.
I don't know. I'm just not fucking gonna get invested in this shit.
I
I've
won't.
never got invested in it. There's already enough American wrestling for me to watch. Now, true, it's all shit. But now, if New Japan is also shit, and even the smart fans are saying no to New Japan, I just don't know.
Well,
It's a disgrace their belt has changed, though, because they did have a nice belt.
they had a great design belt, but also was the history. I don't care if they redesigned the belt that much, but counting out the lineage and the history of it is actually a terrible maneuver. There's no reason to do it. There's no reason. Just
Well, who
absolve.
really cares if they recognize the history or not? I mean, the history is still there of the belt.
But now the history has ended. Now there's no. The next champion isn't the same championship. It's just the ending of that championship belt. That's the end of
Well,
that.
it's the ending of their federation. They've just given up.
Yeah. But
So
what can you
just
do?
the rest of it isn't canon. The rest of it is just a lark.
Well, the thing is with New Japan, I watched the whole show of Soccer Genesis, and you know what? It's a WCW problem. The main event sucks, but the undercard's really great. I mean, their junior tag championship match was awesome. Show and Yo are great. There's a lot of great people in the company that are doing really well. It's fucking TNA or WCW. You have a great undercard at terrible main events. And that's fucking it's bad. That's not good business. It's bad business, actually.
Well, I'll take your word for it, man. I'm not
Yeah.
really fucking following it.
All
So
right.
what do you want to go into Raw?
We'll do Raw AEW next. It's up to you, man. I don't care.
Fuck it. You want to do AEW?
We'll do AEW first for a little bit, but we won't go through everything, and we'll go through Raw.
No, because there's not a whole lot on this AEW show for me to say.
I didn't watch all of it. I
Oh,
actually
really?
missed going. I actually missed watching it live for the first time in I don't know a couple months now because I went to Godzilla vs Kong instead because it was opening night. I went to the
Oh, yeah.
theater. It was awesome. That was a fun.
Oh,
That's a better wrestling match right there. If you want to watch wrestling, go watch Godzilla vs Kong because that's all it is.
well, the show started with Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian. Christian Cage is 47 years old, for fuck's sake. Anyway, these two guys, they're old as fuck. They worked a match that was pretty good. They're both experienced. Christian doesn't look like he's lost a step since I saw him last.
Which
The
was in
match was
January.
was it in
The
January?
Royal Rumble,
I thought it
bro.
was like 7 years ago.
Royal Rumble, bro. Who's the Royal Rumble?
Holy shit!
Did you forget?
Well, yeah, fuck him. Who cares? Um, it was what it was. It was a fucking basic, veteran match. I don't know what you thought of this match.
I thought it was all right. I kind of was I was rewatching a replay on this, and I was waiting for my friend to show up to start, and we were kind of watching this while we were waiting. So I was kind of not paying attention all the way. From what I saw, it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good, but I think they need to drop the outwork everyone gimmick. It makes every match seem to be like it's like if they made every match the greatest wrestling match ever that Edge was in. Like they're putting a way too high of an expectation on the guy They're making it seem like he needs to be like this top, ultimate worker on wrestling, and all his matches need to be blow away when they really aren't going to be. It's an unrealistic expectation. So I think it's a bad
Well,
gimmick.
I mean,
But
what's the point of him?
he's just a guy. He's got a name. He's a historical figure.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough fucking going here when Christian Cage is the biggest star.
I don't know if he's the biggest star. I don't even know.
No, he's not even. Jericho's bigger than him for sure.
I think Moxley and Jericho and even Omega are bigger stars than Christian Cage at this point.
No, Christian's probably a bigger star than Omega. More people know who Christian Cage is. Surely to God.
Yeah, but
I mean, he was in WWE when it actually had like WrestleMania 17, the ladder match. People saw him in that.
Yeah.
I mean, millions and millions more people were watching that than watch any wrestling in the current time. He had that feud with Cena in like 2004. He was over then. He's had a lot of like those TLC matches, and then he had the run in 2011. And then he also had the TNA run where he was the top guy in TNA. So all those fans have seen him and know who he is. Omega, when you think about it, only the people who watch Japanese wrestling know who he is, or indie wrestling, or AEW fans. So I'm going to guess at best 3 million people know who he is. Whereas Christian, maybe 10 million people know who he is.
I'm sure they know who he is, but in terms of what people think of them and think of them like as wrestlers, how high they put them up in their minds, I think the AEW fan base, and I think in general the wrestling fan base, which is basically down to just the hardcores, guess what? 3 million, that's the wrestling fan base right now. That's all that's left. So people who have heard of Omega think of him as a top star relative to Christian right now, who they think is like old guy coming back, which I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think there's a different perspective, probably.
I don't know.
Right. You're right, actually. I'm wrong. I'm just retarded.
No, I mean, you're probably also right from a certain angle that the people who are watching AEW view Omega as being a big deal, but there's a whole bunch of people who stopped watching wrestling that probably think Omega's a bit of a fag. But the next thing to really talk about on the show, there was some bullshit segments with Darby and stuff, but then there was this Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall match.
It's fucking shit. It's just fucking shit.
I don't know what they're doing.
This was a bad match. It was a bad angle. But then they debuted the Nexus. The Nexus debuted. The fucking League of Extraordinary Jobbers debuted. Another heel stable. It's like, why? Why do we have another heel stable?
QT Marshall getting a stable? You understand? Like, QT Marshall shouldn't even be on TV. He shouldn't have any role, really. Like, his role should be as like a trainer, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I thought. Like, why is he now the leader? Is he the leader of this faction, or is it like the caveman looking dude?
I mean, I'm assuming QT's the leader. He's the only one whose name I know. So he's got.
There's the dude with the boxing gimmick. Like, have you ever seen a successful boxing gimmick?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, okay. I remember Michael Tarver had a boxing gimmick for the 3 weeks that he was on WWE
Mr.
television.
T.
Oh, yeah, Mr. T. I mean, if they have a pre-existing fan base and they come into wrestling, they did the Mr. T and Roddy Piper boxing match, which I actually like that. Did you ever see that?
Yeah,
WrestleMania 2?
That's an okay match. I prefer the WrestleMania 1 tag match. And Roddy Piper hates that match, but I think it's all right. It's fine.
I actually think they did a decent job at making it look somewhat real as a boxing match. It wasn't terrible, in my opinion, but I think that's an unpopular take. I think most people hate that match, but I liked it.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, QT Marshall, what the fuck? It's very shameful.
It's just fucked. I don't know.
I don't know what else to say. There's too many factions on the show.
Now there is. I mean, Dark Order, Matt Hardy's group, Inner Circle, Pinnacle,
the Pinnacle,
the Elite Bullet Club shit.
Holy fuck!
Nightmare Family.
There's a lot. The Nightmare Family too. I know a lot of AEW fans are like, well, the people that watch don't even know what a faction is. They don't care that there's this many factions. I just think that it loses a certain focus on people. People get lost in these factions. They don't get a chance to shine. Like, I was really hoping that they were wrapping up the Inner Circle so that Santana and Ortiz could have their own thing going on without being...
I think that's going to be the end goal, is the loser loses their faction. I think that they're going to break up the Inner Circle pretty quickly there.
Well, I don't know why they would have them fucking humiliate the Pinnacle then this week. just seems kind of strange. The Pinnacle was supposed to be on top and unstoppable, I thought, and then they just got punked out 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit soon, it feels, but I like the segment that happened. I mean, that's next. That's
it was a good segment. I'm not saying it was a bad segment,
but when it happened, maybe it should have happened a couple weeks later. But I think their pay-per-views in like a month or something right now. It's not even that far away. So
is another AEW pay-per-view?
Double or Nothing. Yeah, I think it's in the middle. It's in May.
Didn't we just get one?
In February, so it was 2 months ago. That was 2 months ago, man.
What the fuck?
No, it was a month ago. It was a month ago, not 2 months ago.
No, but the thing of it is so it happens every 4 months or 3 months, I guess, these shows, yeah.
Well, I guess it's more like 2 months away, the pay-per-view, because it's happening at the end of May. So we got to get through all of April and most of May. So they've got 2 months to watch this pay-per-view.
Okay, well, it's somewhat acceptable then.
It's 3 months.
3 months. I like that they do these builds to the pay-per-views, but they just have to deliver. They're going to have to do well with this pay-per-view. I know a lot of people did buy Revolution, including me, but after the exploding ring, I don't know how many people are going to buy the next pay-per-view.
I don't fucking know. Probably not many. I'm going to buy it just to my friends that like to buy it. We split it, so it's not $50 for me then. It's like $12.50, which is a reasonable price, honestly, for wrestling pay-per-view, I think. That's like whatever. So, I would never pay full price. I don't know if I'm going to pay full price for a wrestling pay-per-view for a long time. Man. Maybe I might buy Bloodsport. I think Bloodsport 3 or 5 is this week. I forget whatever one.
Oh, is it this week?
Yeah, it's WrestleMania week, dude. A fucking ton of indie shows are happening. It's fucking retarded. I might watch Bloodsport. I might watch that. It's the only one I'm interested in right now, but I might buy that. But I think it's like $20. But that would be my... If you're not going to watch TakeOver or WrestleMania, then watch that instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that show. I'm gonna watch all the wrestling this week. It's gonna be fucking retarded. It's gonna be retarded. I guess I'll review the stuff as it goes along. I don't know if you're watching all of the Takeover and all this shit. But...
I'm not watching night 1 of Takeover, but I'm gonna watch night 2. I'm gonna watch AEW. I'm gonna watch SmackDown. I'm gonna watch both nights of WrestleMania. I'll probably watch.
What night is Walter on? Is he on night 2?
He's on night 1. I'll watch I'll watch the replay of night 1, but I won't watch night 1 live. I don't have to.
The Killer Cross match is going to be on night 2 then.
And so is the Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly match.
There's going to be some good matches on that Takeover show.
No, I'm excited.
I don't really follow the week-to-week NXT, but the matches will be good.
No, I'm excited for. I like Kyle O'Reilly a lot as a wrestler. He was one of my guys back before he was in NXT, and even when he was in like early NXT, back when Takeover was still fucking fun. I always liked Kyle O'Reilly a lot, so I'm happy he's getting the singles push here. But he's gonna lose to Adam Cole. He's gonna job the fuck out. No fucking question about that. People saying 2 nights. It's fucking 5 nights, bitch. It's 5 nights of wrestling, motherfucker. Don't discount this. This is not 5.
Oh, it's like 6 nights of wrestling. There's fucking. How many nights? There's Monday, then Raw, Tuesday Fame, Wednesday the Takeover, Thursday the Takeover, Friday the SmackDown, Saturday the WrestleMania, and Sunday the WrestleMania.
7
it's
days.
Every day.
A full week. A full fucking week of wrestling. Now, the thing is, when I went to WrestleMania twice, I've been to both WrestleMania shows, I did like 20 shows in a week because I fucking went to all these indie shows. But that's a difference because you're going there live. It's more fun when you're there live. But just sitting on your couch and watching this much TV, it's like, fuck me. The weather's nice out. I want to start going for walks. I want to go on my bike. I want to exercise and like go out.
I don't give a shit.
But fuck it.
But I'll tell you that these shows are suck the life out of you. Like this Raw, I don't even know how I made it through this episode of Raw.
Yeah, let's fuck it. Do you want? Let's just touch on the main event.
We'll touch there was a bullshit Caesar Bononi Moxley match that fucking sucked. They had the Inner Circle segment, which we talked about. Good segment. It was cool to see his head go through the fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I think it was a bit early.
But
and then we had the Omega and Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows
Didn't
match.
watch this one. Didn't get a chance to watch this one.
It was decent. I mean, there was some cool spots in it and stuff, but it was pretty typical AEW quality.
Mm-hmm.
And there was Nyla Rose with the bunny against Hikaru Shida and Tay Conte, which was fucking garbage. It was fucking shit. And then the Arcade Anarchy. We'll talk about that, and then we'll go into WWE. Arcade Anarchy. What did you think, Gahul?
I liked it. This is my kind of match. I think I like it. Yeah, I like it. It was fun. It was
no, buddy. But buddy, the fucking the whack-a-mole machine was made out of fucking cardboard.
Yeah.
It looked fucking retarded. You have this fucking cheap fucking arcade display. Like not the arcade display, but the fucking like the board with the prizes. It was also made of like
cool. I like that.
Oh,
I like the
fuck,
Lego
you
spot.
like that.
I like that. I like that.
Oh, you like the Lego spot? The Lego spot's fucking retarded, man.
Yeah, it's CCW, bro. It's legendary.
Fuck the Lego spot. Just give me the fucking thumbtacks, man.
Nah, Legos are cooler. I like the Lego spot. It was fun, and I like the
Bullshit,
guess
bro.
what? Okay, so you know the one arcade machine that's like the fake one that they threw. It was an arcade one, and I have that Mortal Kombat cabinet, so I was marking out. It's like, that's my cabinet. That's mine, bitch. That's mine. So I marked the fuck out.
None of these were real cabinets.
No, they all were. The most of these were real, but they didn't touch the real ones. The ones that were real. Were killed. The only fake one was the Mortal Kombat arcade one up, which had the token counter on it. That one was fake. All the other ones were 100% real.
I didn't like the fucking air hockey table was made out of like fucking what's that board? It was like what cardboard. The fuck's that? Not cardboard. It was fucking bristlebored.
Yeah,
it was made of fucking bristlebord for fuck's sake. I don't know. I just couldn't.
I like the spot where they went through it. I like that. I enjoyed it.
I was so disappointed it wasn't a cinematic match. I was just fucking crushed in my heart because I wanted this to be a cinematic match in an actual arcade where they just fucking destroyed it.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. Now, I know you didn't want to see the actual arcade machines get destroyed, but I did.
No, I did not. They're pieces of history right there, bro. And then I like the spot when they're crawling on the ground, and then you see the headlights, and then Trent returns like that. Trent coming back was cool. They had a couple of good spots with the return at the end. They embraced the new theme music is cool. I liked it. I actually really enjoyed it, but it's my kind of match. I mean,
Chris Statlander fucking comes back, buddy. Is that a huge surprise? It was amazing.
That sucked. Actually, that was
fucking
pretty bad.
But
the Trent return was good.
And Trent, fucking like he comes in his mom's minivan.
Yeah.
Bro, he's in his mom's minivan. He's such a fucking dork.
No shit.
I don't know. Did you hear Orange Cassidy, how they picked out his theme song for him?
No.
Apparently, Tony Khan sat him down in the office and said, "Have you heard this before?" He said, "No." And then he played it, and he was like, "Do you like it?" And he was like, "Yeah." So they gave him the song.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. This to me was very disappointing. Fuck. I don't know. I was expecting it to be something different than it was. I was expecting like a cinematic match. So when it wasn't that, I was bummed out to begin with. And then like as I was seeing like a lot of these cheap props, in my opinion, they were cheap as fuck. I was just very disappointed that they didn't put more effort into it. Sure. And I don't know. I guess it's a good way to finish this storyline off with, Kip and Miro are going to break up. Miro looked good in the match.
No, that made Miro look really strong, actually. Yeah. Kip looks like a weak bitch, but that was to be expected. I don't think the storyline's technically over, because we're going to get the breakup angle next week, and probably going to do Kip versus Miro at the pay-per-view or something. And Miro's just going to kill the guy, hopefully. And then Miro should...
Hopefully they just fire Kip.
Yeah, they should. Or make him
I don't think anyone would mind.
They don't have to fire him. Make him the liaison to AEW games. Give me like a gaming personality for them. He can just work their fucking gaming machines. Keep him in that. Don't need anything else, bro.
Oh fuck! I'm just cringing at your take on this match, bro. I'm feeling the cringe, bro, about this match.
That's fair. It went over big when I watched it with my friends. Everyone liked it, so if my friends like it, I kind of enjoyed it. It was a good. People were laughing and having a good time.
What does this say about your friends, though? What does it say?
They like goofy shit, and I like goofy shit too.
Oh man,
I don't know.
Well, then you must have loved Raw this week, then.
No, because most of it was stupid and boring.
That wasn't the right type of goofy shit for you, eh?
Most of it was not goofy. It was just boring. It was just nothing happened.
Most
of it was commercials.
I'm being really hard on the AEW show because the Raw this week was very fucking disappointing.
It was just dog shit. Listen, PPP. I actually liked the goofy stuff on Raw. Like, that was the good part, but that comprised about 20 minutes. The rest of it was just fucking
you
nothing.
Just loved the Miz shit. The Miz shit.
I did like the Miz shit. The Miz shit was
good shit, pal. That's good shit.
When they were beating him up and like he was like being beaten down in front of the car, I was playing some like classical music at the time. It was like a Renaissance painting in front of my eyes. It was like, oh, he's like getting beaten down like the Miz, or like they're like holding him up and facing it. This is your car, Bad Bunny. This is your car, and I painted it with my blood, Bad Bunny. It was retarded. Let's get into Raw. Fuck it, Monday Night Raw.
Welcome
April
to Monday
5th.
Night Raw. Drew McIntyre kicks off the show with the promo about chemotherapy.
I'm gonna fall asleep. Just like
it was
fuck.
It was a bit try hard.
It wasn't bad, but like I hate these long promos to kick off these shows. Like I've been spoiled by watching these like shows where they kick off the match or like some exciting promo segment.
I actually missed the promos. I miss the long promos. I want them back. I want them in AEW. I want 20-minute promos with Cody Rhodes to start every show. That's how we solve it, Cool.
Not every show. I don't mind like long promos, but as long as they're good. This was not a great promo. It's just okay. It's like, fuck. It just keeps going. It's going.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if this was the only thing between this and the main event with Drew and Bobby Lashley and stuff, this storyline, fine. Set it up now, do the main event later, get the middle card stuff in the middle. But this was the first of like 5 segments about this match. They just kept hammering it home. There's a ton of matches on this WrestleMania show that I just don't give a fuck about. And they didn't build them up at all. They didn't build anything up. It's like, fuck me.
I think they built up one match, but this Lashley and MVP, breaking up with the Hurt Business, it really hurts like Lashley, I think, to take those guys away. I thought the faction was really great. Lashley did talk, I think, good here, though. He gave a decent promo by Lashley's standards. It was all right, Lashley's performance, I thought, but it's hurting him to be away from the other members of the Hurt Business. McIntyre's promo was all right. It was just like, I just thought that having to bring up his mom's chemotherapy and all this, like, I don't know. I feel like it's the sign of like a lazy talent when they have to do like these shoots and stuff like this. Sometimes it feels a little bit like, oh, it's real now, but it's not really. It's just like, cop out.
So I was watching some old Macho Man Randy Savage this week, and did he ever talk about chemo or what his wife or his mom was going through? No. He went out there on coke and he went, "Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan, I'm gonna crush you in the middle of the ring, yeah. And there's nothing you can do but take it, yeah, because that's what's gonna happen, yeah." That is a good promo. Why can't they just do that? Take some coke. Get these fucking guys on cocaine. Get some fucking cocaine.
That's where I thought Braun Strowman actually did a really good job tonight.
He did. Relatively speaking.
I'd say that the build to the match with Shane has been shit, and the fact that they're wrestling each other doesn't make any sense. But I'd say Braun gave an 80s style WWE super face promo.
Yeah.
Where he was just fired up and it was stupid, but he was delivering it with good energy. And I felt like he was over in that moment. And I feel like Braun could have really been somebody about 3-4 years ago.
Oh, totally.
And then they had him lose to Lesnar.
Especially if he was on coke. If he was on coke, if he took some
coke.
Oh,
fuck. If we get that fucking guy on coke with the fucking physique he had, with the voice he has, he'd be fucking amazing.
Can you imagine? Oh.
But speaking of fucking promos, we had Riddle give this promo where they're talking about they're high without saying it.
Dude, Lamal.
But the show is clearly for children. The show is clearly for children now, right? But we're talking about weed on the show, and just strange. I really don't like what they're doing with Riddle. They need to tone this down. I thought his match tonight wasn't bad, but fuck, this promo is just fucking killing it to the point where when he gets in the ring, I don't give a fuck about what he does. So Jesus. Then it fucking went to AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods. Oh man,
this was fucked. Listen, AJ was one of the guys that I really liked in the WWE. He kind of got me back around 2016 when he jumped in. I enjoyed his run. This is fucked. This is really fucked. He's challenging for the title. He got rolled up in 3 minutes by Xavier Woods on a single distraction. Now, the thing is,
in a minute. It was like a minute long.
The thing is, even with this, I still think that the New Day are total jobbers and they have no chance of winning.
Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't win.
Because fucking Omos is going to kill them. They get this big fucking black dude with this big black bullcock. He's going to ram them. He's going to kill these fucking guys.
Well, all I think. Whatever the fuck his name is. I mean, this is his debut. He needs to win that match. And he will, by God. Or I'm going to be pissed. Without Big E, the New Day just feels like they've lost everything. Like they've lost their balls. It's a very faggy faction now. Xavier Woods shouldn't be beating anybody. Xavier Woods, I don't think he has very much talent, to be honest with you. Kofi is serviceable. I don't think he should have ever been champion. I think that was retarded. But, in the tag team division or the mid-card picture, it's okay. But Xavier, I feel, just sucks. And for have him beat AJ Styles, who I think is one of the greatest wrestlers of this generation, did amazing work and Impact, came to WWE. Yeah.
We need to take a step back here and have to admit, he's not in this generation anymore. He was last generation. He is. Well, it's the end of the line for AJ, bro. He's getting right.
It's the end of the line for me, bro. It's the end of the line for me. I'm going to be decommissioned from watching wrestling when AJ Styles retires because
he's fucked. It's like, who's left? Who are the TNA greats that are left now? Like, fuck me, man. Like,
nobody. There's nobody left. There's Kazarian's over in AEW.
Lashley, and he's not even. Lashley and fucking McIntyre.
Lashley and McIntyre aren't TNA guys, though. You know what I mean?
Those guys are invented Slammiversary 2016, bro.
Yeah, but 2016 Impact was dead. Okay, by then it was already hopeless for them to come back. Like, I think Impact ended by 2012 to by 2014 it was pretty much totally in its grave.
Yeah,
and then everything past that, there were good shows. Don't get me wrong, but any chance of it being a legitimate promotion was pretty much dead by then.
Yeah.
And the guys who were in it after that, I don't associate with TNA. Like, I think of TNA as AJ Styles, Abyss, Samoa Joe, the Motor City Machine Guns, Beer Money, like Bobby Roode, James Storm. There are other guys as well, Samoa Joe, Chris Daniels. There's so many guys that you associate with TNA, and they're almost all gone now.
They're all old now.
And it's sad.
So fucking Chris Daniels and Kazarian are almost retired. Especially Chris Daniels. Samoa Joe's on commentary. AJ's on its way out. Like, this is our generation that we grew up in, and they're on their way out. So this next generation, what the fuck do we have? Like, really, this is fucked, right? Like,
I don't know. Like, even Kofi Kingston is on his way out. And Xavier Woods, fuck, I don't know if he's going to be around. How much longer he'll be around.
Xavier Woods was a TNA guy. He was a fucking TNA guy. He was in TNA.
Who was he in TNA? Was he Consequences Creed?
Yeah.
Holy shit, he really was Consequences Creed, eh? See, I actually liked him as Consequences Creed. I don't like him as Xavier Woods.
I actually think he's a good wrestler. Every time I've seen Xavier wrestle, he's a good, in-ring guy, but his character's kind of crap, so.
Wow. I can't believe that that's the same wrestler. I mean, I knew it was by guessing, but fuck. His work just seems to me to have declined a lot.
Well, now he's transitioning out of wrestling. He's going to be a G4 host. That's going to be his new gig. So.
Well, it's, you get all these wrestlers playing fucking video games. What do you expect? Yeah. Fucking video games. It's time to ban them.
Anyways, this was sucked. And then the Bad Bunny, Damien Priest showed up in the Bugatti, the $3 million Bugatti. It's like, fuck. Spent $3 million in this fucking white car, and you're going to ruin it for one segment on a Raw that no one's going to watch.
But they didn't even ruin it. Like, it's stupid.
I guarantee that paint will wash off. It's like wash-off paint.
So. No, it's wash-off paint. Like, it was obvious, and even if it wasn't, the guy has a $3 million vehicle. You figure he could afford a paint job, right? It would be no thing.
It won't be no
to get it repainted.
Yeah.
Then there was Strowman cut his promo.
Yeah.
Good promo from Strowman. I said it before.
Followed up by a bad promo from Shane. The line that I'll remember forever. I'm not a man. I'm a McMahon. The line of the century there from Shane McMahon. Like
I love Strowman's line that I'll make you feel the agony of every soul that was ever called stupid. He was like Patrick Starr in human form personified. That's what he was like. He was like the Patrick Starr of pro wrestling.
I'll show you what's up, Shane. It's
Shane.
Oh God, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Do I look stupid, Shane? I sound like Rob. I sound like Rob from Everybody Loves Raymond there, like fucking Patrick.
Oh,
Raymond.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of interested in this match now.
This one was okay, actually. It
was probably the only one that's been built at all.
I mean, it's a terrible matchup, and I don't think I've enjoyed the build for the most part, but this segment was fine. And Strowman's going to kill him.
Well, Shane's going to go over, isn't he?
He's going to get thrown out. He's going to get... You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to fucking happen? Braun's going to chuck him out of the cage through the wall, and he's going to take a crazy bump.
Win.
And he's going to win by getting out. They need to kill this.
And then the feud will continue till SummerSlam.
The one thing WWE needs to do, that AEW has gotten right, that they need to get on this wagon and just say fuck it and move it. The getting out, escape the cage stipulation needs to go. That needs to be out for cage matches immediately.
Well, no, I think you make it escape only, right?
Either that, or guess what? The cage match, you're supposed to keep people in. The entire point of a cage match is that no one escapes the cage.
Is it?
Yeah, so that you can't run away. But the whole point of the match is that people run away. Like, the build to this is that Shane keeps running away and dodging Strowman, but now, because he's in the cage, the whole point is to get him away from him, right? It's just retarded. They need to kill this shit now.
Yeah, well, I think Shane will be around for like half the fucking year or more, probably feuding with Braun, and because I don't see it ending at WrestleMania. It should. Will it?
No. People saying Shane's gonna go off the pirate ship. I don't know how he's gonna get to the pirate ship if he's in the cage. Right?
Yeah, how is he going to get to the fucking cage? Hopefully Kevin Owens will go on the pirate ship then, eh?
Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe send Zayn over and just kill him, and that'll be write his character off screen, and he can go away and become El Generico. Which is, you know, actually, I've enjoyed the Sami Zayn character and build-up the last couple of weeks. It's actually been very good. You know, the fucking Logan Paul segment was all right. He was great at that. The trailer was awesome. He's getting his character over. Sami Zayn's a real talent, whether we like it or not. You know, he's given
I've always really liked Sami Zayn, and I thought that he was very talented in the ring. I thought he could have been a really over babyface in the vein of a Daniel Bryan, and I thought he was better on the mic than Bryan.
And he's a better size than Daniel Bryan. He's taller. Probably if he worked out more, he'd have a better physique, potentially. But he never did that. But fuck.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, though, I mean, like, he's given like complete dog shit here with this segment, and he turned it into a pretty good segment on SmackDown, which I guess we can talk about.
I don't know. He's trying to like Sandow it and turn the chicken shit into chicken salad, but
yeah,
you know, we all know how it turns out for guys who try and do that. They end up getting fucking murked even harder. Mm-hmm. So, Strowman beat Elias and Riker in like 3 minutes.
Yep. And then the segment of the century, Miz and John Morrison paint the Bugatti storyline.
Do you know what this scene reminded me of, Gahool?
What?
It reminded me of Lazy Town with like Robbie Rotten and his like schemes.
Yes!
This is what it reminded me of. It was like Robbie Rotten going around Lazy Town, like painting shit or setting up traps or whatever. That's what this felt like the noises they were making and the gestures they were doing. It was fucking ridiculous. It was surreal.
Someone in the chat saying that John Cena will come back to help the feed screen cap this. It's not going to happen. You'll be disappointed. John Cena is not going to be at WrestleMania this year. He's filming a movie. You're not going to get that.
No, he better be there. He better be there, and Undertaker better be there. People are going to be disappointed.
Well, they're going to be disappointed.
People are going to be disappointed. I don't know what they're going to... Yeah.
People are forgetting that John Morrison is still not an Impact. How long? He wasn't even that Impact that long ago, but it just feels like a lifetime ago that he was there. It just feels like this last run with him and Miz has been going on for like an eternity now.
I don't know. It feels like they haven't really done anything with Miz and Morrison.
They were world champions. They
win the belts.
Miz won the world championship like a month ago.
I know, but it wasn't legit. Like, it was a scam.
Oh fuck! I mean, what else is a scam? They made him the world champion. They made the act the world champions.
No, they need to.
What else can you do with the guys?
A year-long reign as champion.
Oh yes, that's the ticket.
But he should have went into WrestleMania as the champion. I think. I don't know. I like Lashley and Drew as a match, to be honest. But Miz could have went into WrestleMania as the champion this year. As the 10-year anniversary of the last time he main evented.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a good little, kind of gift to him out the door. But they gave him the belt again, gave him a second run as champion. Really short.
Mm-hmm.
I like what Miz is doing. I like Miz's work. I think he's a good heel. I think he works really well. But this segment was a bit retarded.
It was.
And there was Asuka.
And Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley reminds me of, I've been watching this women's wrestling for a long time, and when she first debuted, she had like long hair. She had no piercings, none of this makeup crap. She's like a normal looking tall blonde girl. I looked at before and after from college photos. If they go to college and they just get bull dyked in college, that's what it looks like. And that's what happened to Rhea Ripley, and I feel bad because wrestling ruined this woman. She used
to actually look kind of pretty when she was first in WWE.
Yeah.
And they've just totally bull dyked her out to like beyond recognition, where she just looks like shit.
Wrestling has ruined this woman. She was a perfectly healthy, happy, natural looking woman. Wrestling has ruined her, and I feel bad. I feel terrible. We've ruined something that was beautiful, and we've turned it into shit.
Yeah.
Except she was a woman, so she was ugly to begin with. Ha 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 ha! Fuck them all! They're all whores! All you women are whores. You can suck my cock, bitches.
No, GAHOOLE, no!
Listen, ladies, you want me to praise you? Get down on your hands and knees and beg for it.
So we had the women's tag team match. This went on forever.
12 minutes. 12 minutes in ring time. So it does not include the entrances, which went on a long time because they started the entrance with Asuka. Commercial break. Rhea Ripley came out. Then they did a promo package with Bad Bunny again. Then they did the Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax entrance, which I started muting this match a little while ago. I muted the television and I was playing the Stewie does the fat trumpet walk when people walk. I did that when Nia came out. It was pretty funny. It's funny because I'm also fat. And this fucking show, and we watching this, and it comes on, and just like the story of the match is that Rhea's making Asuka wrestle the whole match, and then at the end she turns on her and beats her up, and then that builds to the feud or whatever. It's just like, fuck, I don't care. I hate this. I hate women's wrestling, and I hate women. I just hate women. That's all it is. I just hate and despise females.
No, GAHOOLE, this is terrorist talk, buddy.
Sure.
Terrorist talk.
Sure, why not?
You're gonna get sent to the gulag for this talk, buddy.
I'm already in the gulag of my soul, the mind gulag, so why the fuck not?
The mind gulag. What a disaster. So then what did we have? And it was Lashley. Oh no, it was wasn't it the MVP and Alexander segment? Or whatever?
Yeah, MVP and Benjamin, they like pushed him up and they're like, I hope McIntyre kicks Lashley's ass at WrestleMania. And then and Cedric said that he knew he was gonna lose, he just wanted to beat up. Cedric said knew he was gonna lose. It's like,
it was kind of silly. So I may not get him, but I'm gonna leave a scar. What a lot of confidence you have in yourself. I guess he just realized that he was no match for the almighty Bobby Lashley. The real big black bull was going to cuck him. He was going to get blown the fuck out.
So. And then there was a segment where all the women's and the tag matches came out. And the one thing I noticed from this
was a stupid segment.
This was retarded. The only thing I noticed was that Mandy Rose, you could see her nipples. It's a little bit of the shade.
Yeah.
You can see that. So nice little treat for the fans there. Thanks, Vince. Appreciate that.
Well, I thought you weren't into women, buddy.
I like women. I think I want to have sex with them. I just don't like them.
Oh, I see. It's gonna get you. The attitude's getting you real far, bro.
It has.
You're gonna get there.
Look where I am today.
Look where you are.
The notorious E-fame that I've gotten in trade for selling my soul to the devil.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about, bro.
So then what is it? Lashley and Alexander. It went a long time. I was expecting it to only go 2 or 3 minutes.
And 10 minutes, just 20 seconds.
Didn't need to be that long because I don't think they're ever going to do anything with Cedric Alexander, right? So
it's too small. And the whole thing with the match was just like Benjamin would keep attacking, and like when the ref was distracted, so that Cedric would have a chance to make a comeback or whatever. Um, they plugged the entire week of events, and then the video package for Orton versus Bliss. Yes, Alexa Bliss at last. Alexa Bliss will save me from my wrestling nightmares. Ladies,
Well,
I
she's
love
by
Alexa.
far, she's a very hot woman.
No,
She's a very
it's all
sexy woman,
plastic.
that
It's
Alexa Bliss.
all plastic. It's all fake, dude. You know
I don't
I'm
know.
right.
It seems like a cope, buddy.
It is a cope for her. She can't handle the fact that
Oh,
she was naturally a pretty woman, but she couldn't handle the fact that she was naturally somewhat attractive. So she had to make herself like uncannily cat eyes, cat face, puff up her cheeks, do her nose 3 times, enhance her tits like 3 times to make herself. What's the point? She was fine before she had the breast enhancement, but she did it anyways.
well, but she's enhanced. It's enhanced, buddy.
It looks fake. It looks like shit. If you want to fuck a plastic doll, you can go get a real doll, bro. That's what you be fucking with when you fuck Alexa Bliss.
I just don't know. I think that if you were given the chance, you would fuck Alexa Bliss in an instant.
Yeah, I would. I'd fuck any woman that isn't fat in an instant. That isn't fat or black. I would do it, but.
You gotta just accept that Alexa Bliss is saving women's wrestling. She's actually the best force
not
in
wrestling.
Today.
She doesn't wrestle. She just
that's exactly my point. She's saving women's wrestling by showing them the example, which is to not wrestle and just show off your body and be an accentuating thing for the men. This is how you do it.
You're right. And by you're right, I still think you're wrong. I fucking hate Alexa. You never convinced me.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. But this show is getting it was so fucking boring. Like it was just dragging this fucking.
It's just all talking segments and stuff I've seen before. Like I watch clips on YouTube and Twitter and stuff, so I know what's going on. So it's like when I watch, it's like I already know what's happening. There's nothing new. The
next segment I think might have been the worst segment on the whole show, which was the Bad Bunny promo.
Oh, it was so bad. Now the Damian Priest promo was all right. Damian Priest is a decent promo. And he kicked it off, and he was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was all right. They handed the mic to Bad Bunny, and he just went on forever and ever and ever. It just never fucking stopped.
It went a long time. I'm like, are they giving this guy 20 minutes?
25?
Is that how long it was?
Well, I don't know, because it felt like it went long because they did part of it in Spanish midway through, and I couldn't understand it. And it's like, fuck me. I get if you're going to do a Spanish promo, just do it from the start to finish so I don't have to tune in at all. He was doing English and then he cut to Spanish. And it's like, then he cut back to English. I couldn't tell if he was repeating himself in Spanish or saying something new or what the fuck. But it wasn't good. And then.
I don't understand why I have to listen to Spanish. I don't know who this promo was meant for. He's like, I'm not a pro wrestler, but I'm a man. I'm a man. Messed up my Bugatti. Like, why are we supposed to feel sorry for a guy who can afford a Bugatti? Like, why are we feeling upset for this guy? I don't even know who the fuck he is. How many fans know who he is? I guess he's selling the most merchandise though, so that's why he gets 25-minute fucking segment on the show.
That's because he's not his fans aren't wrestling fans. He's a Grammy Award-winning musical artist. They're watching him because he makes music.
Is Logan Paul going to be on the WrestleMania card?
Yeah, he's on the WrestleMania card, yeah.
Oh.
He's a special guest of Sami Zayn in their match.
Okay.
I don't know what they're going to do with that. I hope fucking Logan Paul takes a bump. I hope he gets... What if he gets thrown off the fucking pirate ship? Now that would be based. If they throw Logan Paul off the pirate ship, people would adore that.
That would be huge. That would be huge. It would actually get people talking.
I think everyone would love to see Logan Paul get punched in the face, so...
Well, I'm surprised he's not like a tag team partner or something like this because he was doing the boxing, so he has some level of athleticism.
Yeah. That's what drove a lot of the sales for those boxing matches was to see the Logan and Jake Paul get beat up. I mean, that's the whole point of those, is to see those guys get beat up.
Well, they could have put Logan Paul in there with Big Show if they kept him. Imagine that one.
That would have been pretty based.
Big Show just beats the shit out of him, crushes him, and that's the... he tries to slime his way out of it, use heel tactics.
I skipped this match because I went to go take a shit and pick up the garbage. U.S.
champion Riddle and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I had to go take out the garbage. It was going to rain, so I had to do it before I went up. So, fuck, I just skipped the match. Sorry. Didn't watch it.
It was okay. Riddle ended up winning.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Sheamus and Riddle. It should be an all right match at Mania. And then we had what was it, McIntyre and Corbin.
Yeah, and then
and this match went like a half hour.
17 minutes 57 seconds.
It felt like it was a half hour long, man. It was just so fucking long. It was boring.
Well, because if you count the intro and then the commercial time before the intro before the match started, it was like 24 minutes. Really, because they had the walkouts, and they had the promo stuff, and then they had to fucking cut to commercial, and they cut to commercial like 5 times during this match. It was fucking retarded. It was so much that I was like, I tuned out. I can't watch this shit, man. Like, at least let me watch the wrestling, you know? But it wasn't even that good. I'm a Baron Corbin fan. I enjoy Baron Corbin. I like
Corbin. Yeah.
But this is a bad match. It was stupid. I didn't believe anything. I didn't believe that McIntyre was going to lose at all. There was no stakes.
Well, that's the biggest problem with it is Corbin wasn't believable in the match. I mean, nobody was going to be believable facing McIntyre the night before Mania, but, I mean, then don't book McIntyre to be in a match before WrestleMania. There's no need for it. All he needed was the promo segment with Lashley and maybe tack an extra 5 minutes on or a back and forth to that, and then, do something else. Build one of the other matches that they're looking forward to.
What other matches are there? Oh, let's transition to the last segment of the show. Because this is not just the Raw before show, it's the preview, the go home for WrestleMania.
Did you see I sent you the Wikipedia page for it?
Yes, and we're going to go through that. But before we do, I want to ask a question. Are we going to do a SmackDown show or a TakeOver show this week? Or are we just going to do WrestleMania?
I mean, we can. We definitely can.
I'd definitely do a SmackDown on a Friday show for sure to cover TakeOver and SmackDown.
All right, let's tentatively schedule it in for Friday that we'll do a show. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame, the TakeOver, and the SmackDown, or whatever fucking show we watch. I don't know if Bloodsport will happen by then.
I think Bloodsport's Saturday morning or some shit, Saturday night. But yeah, and then are we going to do a show Saturday for WrestleMania too, or are we going to just do it once on Sunday to cover both shows?
I don't know. Do you want to do those 2 fucking shows? We can do them.
I can do them.
Maybe we'll see how we feel. I don't know.
I'll see how I feel after Saturday night if I want to do it then or if I want to wait.
Because it might just be fucking exhausting. It might just be fucking exhausting.
It's going to be exhausting, especially after Sunday. It's going to feel like shit, but we're going to have to do a show Sunday after it's all said and done.
Yeah.
We have to do one then. I'm not going to fucking not do that. But it's fucking WrestleMania. It comes once a year. I fucking sat through 20 wrestling shows in one weekend in New York City, and that was the dog shit. And that included a lunch with Mark. I had to go to lunch with. I went to lunch with Mark in that weekend too.
No, you didn't. Man.
I did. We went for fucking lobster. I paid.
Episodes of You Went On show that came out this week.
Yeah, he's not in them, and they apparently were really boring. They the first 2 episodes were the only ones that were good, and the rest were like the downhill from there. So,
what a shame.
It just fucking Ron and Jim like being perverts in Japan essentially. Like they're just going to soap lands and like anime shops and stuff and like buying porn. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's a Watkins documentary essentially.
So first match on night 1, I have it as Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus Lana and Naomi versus Natalya and Tamina versus the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riot. Whatever happened to the other bitch in the Riot Squad?
She retired. I think she got fired, actually. But she was becoming a mom anyway, so I think she just quit wrestling. So good for her.
This match is gonna just be brutal, isn't it?
I think this is like if there was a pre-show match, if there was a pre-show, this would be a pre-show match. But there is no pre-show.
I hope this isn't the curtain jerker. I hope they make Cesaro and Rollins the opening match for the show.
I would hope so.
Because if this is the opening match, I mean, it's going to be a fucking bad vibe to start the show. You know what I mean?
Is there Onto the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year? Like, are they doing that?
I don't see it. Let me look it up. Battle Royal 2021. Yeah, there is.
It's on this SmackDown this Friday.
No, but it says why WWE moved the match from SmackDown to WrestleMania 37. Oh, they moved it. Okay, so it's now on SmackDown? Okay.
Yeah, it's on SmackDown. So that's why it's on the card. It's just not on the card. Okay, so there really is no pre-show then. There must not be a pre-show.
SmackDown then. But I mean, it's just not even special then. It's just a battle royal on SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's not even on WrestleMania. I mean, what sort of legacy is this for Andre the Giant? I mean, he was maybe the biggest wrestling star ever. You know, he's on like the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, most likely.
It's him,
and this
Hogan,
fucking
and Austin and Rock. Really, he
Yeah.
was the biggest star of the '70s. He was the biggest wrestling star of the '70s, and there's no comparison. And you know what the thing is? Also, I was watching Young Rock. Have you watched Young Rock at all yet?
No, I haven't seen any of Young Rock. Is it actually good?
Fucking, it's great, actually.
Really?
Not the best part, the part where he's the little kid and you get to see all the wrestlers. The stories with Andre that he's told, I'm sure a lot of it's real. They're just fucking incredible. Some of the stuff you get to hear about what he was like back then, it's actually, I would really recommend watching it. It's really fucking good. It's a little bit hokey, a little bit cheesy, and like the whole stuff with him running for president in the future is actually a little bit uncanny valley, like weird. But the parts about his childhood and about him are really fucking interesting and really well done. So I think it's one of the best shows that on TV right now.
So do you know who's going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
I do. I have the lineup right here. If you want me to read it to you.
Yeah.
Here's the lineup, brother. From WWE on Fox. Here we go. 22 participants from the top, and I'm assuming alphabetical order, I believe. Akira Tozawa, Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias,
Gulak, man,
Eric, Gran Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, Jackson Riker, Jay Uso, Kalisto, King Corbin, Lindsay Dorado. I think Jay Uso will win probably. Mace, Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Slapjack, T-Bar, Tucker.
So you think he's going to Jey Uso?
Probably Jey Uso.
And it's either going to be Jey Uso or King Corbin, probably. I don't know who else could possibly win it. Shinsuke, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call.
It's a shitty fucking battle royal. To be honest with you, it's not.
I think probably the winner is going to be either Jey Uso or maybe Tucker. If they're going to push that guy. I don't know.
Has anybody ever actually that won this got a push that was substantial or panned out?
No.
Fuck.
Well, actually, yes and no, because Matt Hardy won with Bray Wyatt, and that started their tag team feud. They didn't really push him up the card, but they started a storyline off of it. But that'd be the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah. Then we have on night one.
PPP, what's up with your fucking MK Ultra conditioning light there, flickering on and off?
To control the minds of the audience.
I was like, why are you flashing these lights in my eyes? Like, what the fuck's going on, bro?
It's just the light bulb is on the fucking fritz. You got to get it changed. It's fucking spazzing out.
That's all right. Anyways, WrestleMania 37. Women's tag team turmoil. Then Cesaro versus Rollins.
This should be a good.
Yeah, I mean it's been decently built. They're good wrestlers, and I hope Cesaro wins. I want Cesaro to win this match. I think he needs to get a push up the card. I think it's time to get him in the main event scene against Roman. Him versus Roman would be a good match.
Is it too late for Cesaro? How old is he now?
It's too late for him to be a champion and be the
40.
guy. But it's not too late to have him have a run this year. He can do a run for SummerSlam against Roman. I think this would be a good chance to push him up the card.
It's either now or never with Cesaro for them to do something with him. And I hope they do. I hope he goes over Rollins. Rollins doesn't need to win this match.
No.
Rollins has a lot of accomplishments. He has a big resume. And this will just be a notch in his belt as, these guys can go out there and they could steal the show. They could have the best match of night one.
They can have absolutely. And I think Reigns and Rollins and everyone who's this generation really respects and looks up to Cesaro. And I think if you look at the Roman Reigns title run so far, it's been guys he's wanted to wrestle who have been in his matches.
I hope they get 20 minutes to start the show and they just fucking have a great fucking match and the crowd is super hot for it. It's the first wrestling they've seen. before a live crowd in a long time,
Yeah,
and they just go crazy for Cesaro when he
I hope
beats
so.
Rollins. That's what I'm hoping for. Um, then we got Strowman and Shane McMahon.
Steel cage match.
Um, it's not going to probably be a good match. I'm just,
You know what?
hopefully it's short.
I think the thing is with this, I don't think it's meant to be a good wrestling match. It's going to be a spectacle. Things are going to be like some big stunt, and that's all you expect from Shane McMahon
Yeah,
these days.
there's either
And
going to
that's
be
a
a
good
big
variety.
stunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's going to be a big stunt or some outside interference. There'll be lots of outside interference and
Yeah.
crazy shit that happens. It'll be overbooked to fuck, but it might be pretty entertaining. It's either going to be really entertaining or it's going to be like some boring fucking like 20-minute like dragging bullshit,
The thing is, when you do a
We'll
match
see.
like this, I mean, when they first announced it, I wasn't excited, but making it a steel cage match, it kind of makes it pretty much a guarantee. It's just going to be a big spot fest, which on a card like this, you need that to break it up. You need a big guy just doing some crazy shit to like entertain the crowd. Will it be a good wrestling match? Probably not, but it doesn't need to be. It's just going to be a show where like it's going to be like a spectacle match, which is fine. Um, the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. Probably going to be a pretty short match where Omos just kills these guys and wins, right?
I hope so. I mean, I could see them having the New Day win uh, somehow.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen. That's like my worst fear for the show. I think that might be one of the worst things they could possibly do. Uh,
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. Celebrity match. They do this shit all the time. They do it almost every year. It's just a thing that they do to promote it to outsiders. It doesn't actually. It
yeah,
won't
I
be a
mean,
great match. It might be a fun like Miz match. We'll do some fun spots and some Bad Bunny will do some crazy spot or whatever. But it's mostly just to draw in outsiders to wrestling.
yeah, Bad Bunny's gonna pin the Miz, right? That's pretty much what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Then okay, so the main event, according to Wikipedia, is not Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. It's Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
called
I
it.
hope to God Wikipedia is wrong.
I called this shit, bro. You think you remember I said this weeks ago that the fucking two
We'll
Royal Rumble
see.
winners should be the main event.
Because they'll change around. They've changed it around from what I've seen listed on Wikipedia before.
Yeah,
So we'll see. But we'll cover Lashley and McIntyre. I think it's pretty obvious that McIntyre is going to win the title here.
I would think so. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that and then after I think MVP probably Lashley will turn on MVP for failing him or something, and then really just break up the angle completely. Just put a book into this chapter of the world. And the only good thing going in WWE, the only good angle on Raw really was the Hurt Business, and they're just gonna close it off now. So there's nothing good on Raw.
It's a shame. It's a shame. But I think this could be a really good match. I think that
I've seen it be a
this
good match
has the
before.
potential to be match of the night or match of the night for night one.
Yeah.
I think it's between that and Cesaro and Rollins. I have a little bit more faith in Cesaro and Rollins if they get the time. Lashley and McIntyre, if they get the time, it will be good. But I could also see Lashley and McIntyre being like the Lesnar McIntyre match where it just goes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Drew hits him with the fucking Claymore and wins, which would fucking suck. I mean, if they do it right as a 5-minute match, like the Goldberg Lesnar match, but I think they can do more than that. I think they could do.
I've seen them do a great 20-minute main event at Slammiversary. They can do that, but better. Hopefully, it wasn't that good.
And then we have the main event: Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I guess Bianca Belair is going to win. You'd hope, I guess.
I think. I don't know what else he would do.
I won't be surprised to see Sasha win this match, though, so that one of the 4 horsewomen gets her big moment at WrestleMania. And Bianca, they'll do next year again or something like that. That's night one. Night one looks weak, man. It looks a little bit weak to me.
I think it looks like a regular pay-per-view. It looks like maybe like a B show. It doesn't even look like a Royal Rumble or Survivor Series pay-per-view. Or even a SummerSlam. It doesn't even look like a good SummerSlam card, really. It looks like a mediocre SummerSlam.
Who is the biggest star on this fucking show? Seth Rollins? Shane McMahon?
Bad Bunny.
Holy shit.
Unironically, it's Bad Bunny. I'm right.
Holy shit. That's sad. It's terribly sad. But there's no names here. There's no Triple H. There's no Sting. There's no Undertaker. There's no Shawn Michaels. There's nothing. There's no Kurt Angle. There's nothing special. There's no Nostalgia Acts. No Goldberg this year. No Cena.
No, this card's really hurting from no Cena. I think if Cena was on this show somewhere, I think it would have probably rounded out the show to become pretty decent. WrestleMania, not a great one, but okay. Without anything, like with just the new acts they've got, there's just nothing here. They don't have enough star power here to believe. The thing is, here's the indictment of the current WWE product. They do not have enough star power to carry an entire WrestleMania with their current main roster talent. They just don't.
Yeah. It's bad. We're looking at night 2 now, and it's going to start off again with the women's tag teams.
This is a singles match. And then
I don't know. They got to move this into the 2 spot again and have Riddle and Sheamus or Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn start off the show. Maybe that would make sense. I'm not sure how they're going to structure this.
I think the women's championship thing. I think it might be. I hope it's a pre-show kind of thing. We just put this on the pre-show. This is a pre-show belt. Keep this on the pre-show, but I guess they're putting it onto the main show because they've got 7 matches per night.
You think they retain here as champions?
I don't know. I fucking probably not. No, I think my prediction is that Asuka's gonna win over Rhea Ripley actually, and then because Shayna pinned Asuka tonight, she's gonna challenge Asuka afterwards. She didn't get her singles run finally, so.
Oh shit.
That's my prediction.
Okay, so then we have Riddle and Sheamus. I think Riddle wins, right?
No, Sheamus will win.
You think so?
They put Sheamus pretty hard
just
the last
put
couple
the belt on Riddle.
Yeah, but Sheamus has been is their guy. It's going to be a fucking Daniel Bryan Sheamus situation again. But for the U.S. title now, so it's not that big of a deal. And also, Sheamus has been better than Riddle the last couple months. If I was going to pick who I want to win, it'd be Sheamus.
No, I want Sheamus to win this match. I think Sheamus deserves it.
He does.
Sheamus is he's a really underrated worker. And I think people, I don't know if they're finally going to give Sheamus respect or not, but I think he can work really good matches. This match could be okay.
I expect pretty good things. Riddle is a good worker. He's always been a pretty great worker, actually. So, and Sheamus has actually been really good lately too. So, I expect a pretty good match out of them.
I expect it to be good, but I can also see it being disappointing if they only get maybe 10 minutes. I'd like to see these guys get 15 minutes.
I would honestly, this might be just a crazy opinion for me, but I would swap this match with one of the other matches on the other show because I think having both mid-card titles on one show is kind of overloads this show. I think. Yeah,
they could have swapped out maybe either the Bad Bunny or the Strowman thing for this.
Yeah,
and get one of the star the kind of the gimmicky matches over here. Mm-hmm. Although they are going to have one really gimmicky match, which is the Fiend match. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I'm guessing a cinematic match.
I hope it's a cinematic match, but my guess is going to be a regular match.
Oh, if it's a regular match, it's going to be
because they're going to be in front of fans in a stadium.
Fuck that. Give us the cinematic match, but with Orton's career. Like, give us the match last year, the Firefly Funhouse, but with Orton.
With more Satanism, I guess, which is I think the angle this time is a lot of satanic.
I don't know. The shit with the Fiend is really cringy, and I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with this guy. I think at some point they have to cut their losses. Like, is this getting over with anyone? Is anybody really into it?
12-year-old edgelords, I think, and that's it.
Fuck. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This is a match that everybody wanted to see at WrestleMania. It's a shame it's not, been built maybe a bit bigger. But Logan Paul's in it.
Yeah.
And I think this will be a great match.
This last week of build has got me excited for the match. I mean, frankly, it's one of the matches I'm most excited for based on what the storylines have been going on. Because
I'm really excited for night 2. I think night 2 is going to crush night 1.
Absolutely. Night 1, which is what happened last year.
There's 4 matches on this card that I really want to see.
Yeah, for me, I think it's just the Roman match, the Owens and Zayn match, and the Cesaro Rollins match that I'm actually interested in. And even the Cesaro Rollins match, you can take it or leave it. So it's only 2 for me, and both of them are on night 2.
I'm really interested in Big E and Apollo Crews, the Nigerian drum fight for the title. I really want to see the Nigerian drum fight. It's going to be amazing.
I hope they have big drums out there. I hope they have giant drums out there that they smash them through and they beat them with sticks.
You have these 2 big black Giga Nigs fucking colliding to be the ultimate giganig in a Nigerian drum fight. This is going to be the best match probably across all the shows. I hope Apollo hits Big E with the spear and wins the belt. He hits him with his literal spear and fucking pins him. I hope he hits him with the spear. Like, maybe he puts the spear through Big E's body.
Mm-hmm.
We find a way to fake that, where the spear goes through his body and through the drum.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some shit like this. But I'm excited for that match. I want to see that match. And then you got The Fiend and Orton is either going to be really excellent or really shit. There's going to be no in between on that.
I hope it's shit in a funny way. That's what I would like. I'd like to be funny shit, personally. It's the only thing that can save it for me.
Well, the Alexa Bliss shit wasn't even funny.
No, it was terrible.
It was just terrible. And you got Asuka and Rhea Ripley. It will be probably the best women's match of all the women's matches at Mania.
Probably Asuka's a really good worker, and actually Rhea's pretty good too. She's a big hoss woman.
Rhea is a pretty good fucking worker. She can work. This will be actually a competent women's match. These are like the sort of matches that justify the existence of the division, but it doesn't really for me. You know, so.
No. If they got naked and they wrestled, I'd be okay with that. Then I'd be into it. You know, just both of them.
And then we got the big match.
Yeah, this is the main event. This is the one that I'm actually excited for the most. This is the one that feels the most like a WrestleMania match out of any of them. And Roman versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. And I don't know they had Daniel Bryan pretty recently. I'm not sure I didn't actually get your take on what you think about Daniel Bryan being added to the match. I think it's pretty clear that he's going to take the pin from Edge. I think Edge is going to beat Daniel Bryan, and Roman won't lose that way.
I don't know. I think anyone can win this match. I think any of these three could walk away with the title, and that's why I'm interested in the match.
I kind of believe I think you're right. I think Daniel Bryan's the least likely, but at the same time, I think the storyline
I won't be surprised.
He's clearly the babyface of the storyline, and he's been built up pretty well. The storyline so far on SmackDown has been pretty damn good, and he's pretty believable. And you know what? Edge's heel turn on Friday was really great too. It was a great.
Depending on how they book this, and if Heyman has his way with it, there will be a lot of believable near falls in this match.
Yeah,
there can be a lot of believable near falls in this match. I can easily see Edge winning as the returning legend. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this idea that it's this big coronation, like for Edge, like a career, you know, you did great for us type thing. I can see Bryan winning because they've been booking him like he's going to win this match.
Yeah.
And it's like a similar sort of situation as when he won the title at WrestleMania 30, mm-hmm. where he's in there with like two big stars who you wouldn't expect him to beat. And Bryan, they seem to like, they're getting behind Bryan a bit. And I can easily see Reigns winning because he's the face of the company, and I think he should win the match. I really do. I think any other move but Roman winning is a mistake. But, you know, I'll be happy for Edge or Bryan if they win. I love both. I love all three of these wrestlers.
I think the key here with this is if Roman isn't winning, he should not be pinned or submitted. I think if Edge is going to win, he should pin Daniel Bryan, and if Bryan's going to win, he should pin Edge. I don't think people should.
They might try and do an Edge and Bryan feud coming out of this.
They could, but I also would think that they wouldn't pin Roman here. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's why it's a three-way. So I think because it's a three-way, I think Roman's the least likely to win. Honestly, I think the clear pattern here, unless it's a swerve, I think the clear pattern here is Roman loses without actually losing. You know, to keep him strong.
I don't know. That doesn't keep him strong. I mean, he needs to win the main event of WrestleMania.
He does.
He needs to win it in a way where it makes sense and it's good. Every time he's been in the main event of WrestleMania, it gets shit on. And this time it won't be shit on. This time it's going to be the match people are most excited for, mm-hmm. with guys who people are invested in. And he shouldn't lose this match. There's no reason for Edge or Bryan really to be winning this match. I mean, they've both had their time. They've had their runs. It's Roman's time. Although I think Bryan isn't that much older than Roman, isn't he?
No, Bryan's pretty young, actually. He's not... Edge is the oldest one here.
He just has a lot on the odometer.
Yeah, because of his because of his Ring of Honor run was pretty fucked. No, he's only 4 years older than Roman, which is 4 years,
Yeah.
but it's not that much. I think Brian's the kind of guy that could be in the company for another 10, 15 years, actually. Maybe just 10, maybe, but that's still a decade.
Brian, you think?
Brian's 39. He can wrestle till he's 49. I could see it. He could be
I
50.
don't think. I think with his style, he can't wrestle till 49.
If he was wrestling his old style, but his current style isn't that dangerous. He's just a technical guy now. Nothing he does really is something that's like made you think, oh, he's gonna be dead in a couple years. Like I think ever since he's coming back,
if he settles into the style, where it's all technical, then he'll be fine.
Which he has the last year since he's been back. I don't think anything he's done has made me think, he can't keep wrestling this style. I think he'll be with the company until he's at least 50. Or at least he'll be wrestling for the next.
Is he still doing the diving headbutt?
No, he quit that.
That's good. I don't know. I don't know. Like WWE might really be behind Brian now. It looks like they are. But it's hard for me to believe that they're gonna make him a big star of the company going forward. But I don't know what choice they really have because they don't have many guys that people actually give a fuck about.
No.
But I feel like Reigns has like 15 more years.
I think, well, yeah, because he's got 5 years on Brian. He just does. He just has 15 years. But the thing is, though, all three of the guys people care about in the company are in this match. I think it's these guys, maybe KO and Sami, and maybe Cesaro and Rollins. But like the rest of this card is dog shit. And even Lashley and McIntyre, which I kind of excited about, I don't think people really care that much about it.
I care about that match. It just doesn't feel like it's WrestleMania worthy.
If it was still the Hurt Business Lashley, then it would be. But they've hurt the feud a lot this last 2 weeks. I think they've dragged it down quite a bit.
Because you even look at like WrestleMania 36 last year it had Braun Strowman and Goldberg.
Yep.
It had Undertaker and Styles.
Cena and fucking Fiend and
Edge and Orton it had, which I know was a slow match, but still Edge and Orton in a match together, the two best heels of their era.
It was a good build-up for that match. The actual match was bad, but the build for that match was really fucking great.
McIntyre and Lesnar,
No, last year's Mania blows this one out of the fucking water. In every way. This one feels like a nothing. This one feels like, last year felt like WrestleMania 9. This feels like WrestleMania 10. Where that last year was this last year was the last year of the New Gen era. They had the one last year of the Hulkamania era. They had the one last run with the Stars, and then they were squarely.
Holy fuck!
In the New Gen era, and we are squarely.
You even look at 35. There was Triple H and Batista on that show.
I flew out to that fucking show because there was some good stuff on there. Fucking John Cena returning as the fucking rapper. Fuck.
Rollins and Lesnar was on that show.
Yep, and then
Styles and Orton.
Yeah, Styles and Orton was good. There's a lot of fucking great matches on that show, actually. And then obviously the women's match with Ronda Rousey, which is what people came to see for that shit. But
I don't know. This seems to me like the weakest WrestleMania card, just on the face of it. And I don't know, what would be maybe 27 might have been weaker.
No, it would be the New Gen. You have to go back to the New Gen because even if you go back to 27, you had Undertaker, you had Triple H, you had all these fucking guys who were still there. Fuck, we have to go back to the new generation. We're talking WrestleMania 11, maybe. Fuck.
Holy shit! It's very sad, the state of the business. This isn't going to feel like. I'm hoping that I get excited throughout the week. As I watch more of the shows, hopefully SmackDown leaves me really excited for Owens and Zayn, and the Apollo match and Big E. I get excited for even more, and hopefully even more fantastic shit with Edge and Reigns and Bryan on the go home for SmackDown.
Yeah,
this go home for Raw was just shameful.
It's the absolute drives me shits. The one thing with WrestleManias though is usually if the card looks better, the show ends up being worse. If the card looks bad, then usually sometimes it can over deliver. Historically speaking, look at some of these matches. Some of the best WrestleManias have on paper have some pretty weak cards, but they really over deliver. But I think the only thing this match, if this WrestleMania delivers on what it sounds like it's going to deliver on, it's going to be the worst one since 11. And 11 is what people think is the worst WrestleMania of all time. That was fucking Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow as the main event of that show. And the reality is fucking Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair that much of a better match? I think no. I think it's worse.
No, it is worse. It's way worse. I mean, at least Lawrence Taylor was an NFL star, and Bam Bam Bigelow was cool looking. I guess I don't know. It was big.
Yeah.
There was something there. This
Mm.
is just fucking. It's shit. And I really hope that they put Lashley and Drew on last. If they don't, it's just shameful. And the company ought to be embarrassed of themselves. And it's going to get to the point where if WWE isn't careful and they keep fucking doing this and they're not able to turn it around or get anybody over, I mean, they're 2 or 3 WrestleManias away from AEW being able to maybe compete with them, not because AEW has rose so high, but because they're going to fall far.
Yeah. No, I mean, you have to go back to the new gen for worst WrestleManias, and I think WrestleMania 10 is a little bit better than this, because at least then you have the Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels ladder match, and the fucking Owen versus Brett there. I mean, 11 is the closest comparison. It's like 11 and maybe, I don't know, even fucking 12 was better. Like, fuck. This says nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Because we're not excited for it, it might impress. It might be better than we think. I mean, night 2, I think, has the potential to actually be a pretty fucking good show.
Especially if it's a shorter show, they get 7 matches on both these cards. They're not that long. As long as they don't do too much bullshit, they should keep them both under 3 hours, which would be nice. Or maybe it might be close to 3 or hopefully they're at least under 4 hours for both of them. If they're over 4 hours, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Well, they're saying they're trying to keep it under 3.5 hours because that's why they've moved the Battle Royal to SmackDown.
I'm guessing because of COVID shit, which I just hope to God they do. Keep it under 3.5 hours, bro. I'd appreciate it. I've got a life.
Well, we all would, but I won't be shocked to see it go 4 hours, especially on night 2.
Yeah.
Reigns and Edge and Bryan is probably going to get 45 minutes. When you include the entrances.
It fucking should. It should get 45 minutes without including the entrances. It should be a long fucking match. I hope they do a great show. That's gonna be like the main show. That's like the main show match of the entire show. That's the one. You're basing this entire product around. It should be a big blowout. And the reality is, this is not some spectacle match like a Lesnar match or a Goldberg match. This is like your best wrestlers in ring, also your biggest stars you have on this entire show. They should deliver.
If that doesn't deliver, I mean, it's just going to be fucking. I think Edge. I don't know. Edge winning to me feels like, fuck. Some people are just going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed the night of it if it happens where Edge wins. I am going to be pissed off, but I will look back on it and say, well, Edge was one of my favorites growing up. It's great that Edge won the title for his legacy in the grand scheme of things.
It all depends.
It
all depends on how it's done on the show, like the match itself, how it plays out. With the story they tell during the match. I think that's going to really determine how I feel. If they build it up well, I think Edge winning, I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine with anyone winning because I honestly would be okay to see any of these guys. It'll be great seeing Roman continue the title reign. I'd be happy seeing Bryan as champion, and I'd be happy as Edge seeing as Edge as champion. I'd be okay with any of them winning. I'm
okay with any of them winning, but I think Edge is the one that really I don't think should be winning. I think he's too old. I really do. He was the champion. He got to retire as champion 10 years ago, and I thought that was a cool way for Edge to go out, where he never lost the belt, and he got to ride off into the sunset as the champion.
Right.
But they've brought him back for this run, which I haven't found to be spectacular. I haven't seen a lot of the character work from Edge that he used to have. Like as a heel, Edge was fantastic. He's like a baby face here, kind of, right?
But on Friday, you saw that, and that's what the promo on Friday really was really great.
Yeah,
it's built the show up great. Someone in the chat saying modern wrestling needs longer matches because longer equals better in 2021. Lamau. That's why wrestling is a nerd audience now. And I'll bring you back to WrestleMania 12 as a counter to that. Main event of that show, 60-minute Iron Man match, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. So don't tell me that long wrestling isn't what people want to see. Because sometimes you do.
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man match. When was the last time you watched that?
I don't know. I don't think it's been fucking years.
I'll tell you, I mean, that match is a little fucking slow. It's fucking slow. There's no pinfalls in that match, until the overtime, right?
It goes
the full hour without a pinfall. And yeah, it is like a good match, but it's like compared to the modern day stuff you see, um, for its time, I'm sure it's great and all, but it's a bit fucking slow. Last time I watched it, which was a few years ago.
No, but I think
So
my argument here is that fucking, just saying that because people thinking that wrestling is longer is what kill people, took people out of the sport. And it's like they were doing long wrestling matches. They were doing hour 60-minute matches back, fucking, in the fucking 80s and 90s when wrestling was at its peak. They were doing these 60-minute Iron Man matches. So you can't just tell me that like longer is
Well, maybe that
necessarily.
was the start of the decline. Maybe that was when wrestling started to die, is when they did the Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart match because neither of them could draw a
No,
fucking dime.
it was before that. It was the Diesel Championship run. That's what
Well,
killed
no,
me.
Diesel was dimes, brother. Diesel was fucking face.
You're right. No, you know what it actually was? It was actually the Bob Backlund run being cut short. Bob Backlund deserved like a year run with the title. He was the fucking best guy in that
Didn't
company at
Bob
the time.
Backlund have like a 4-year run as champion at one time?
Yeah, because
Is
he's the
that not the
best.
case?
He's the fucking best, dude. Bob Backlund's
Bob
based.
Backlund. Bob Backlund was fucking intense. In the Attitude Era, I think he was fucking intense. You'd see him
Yeah,
come out, he'd fucking lose his shit.
yeah, yeah. And no, you know what? People saying that's the main event. You're right. This is the main event of WrestleMania. I think the main event of WrestleMania should be a long, good match. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know what? I think people want to see a spectacle. I think a long proving that wrestling is good can be nice. But fuck, I don't give a shit.
I don't know. I looked at the blueprint for some of the Lesnar matches that were short,
Mhm.
and I do like that. Like I like the Lesnar and Goldberg match. I would have had no problem with that closing 33. Because what
No, it
did
should.
close 33? Reigns and fucking
Reigns and Taker,
Undertaker. Oh my god.
and that match
It
was
was it was loathsome. I think that match has been memory hold from existence.
well because it was supposed to be Taker's retirement match and
Yeah.
putting Roman over as the big dog. Neither of which worked because Taker's retirement match ended up being the Boneyard match, which is a good retirement match, and Roman became the big dog by turning heel, which was a good time for him to be the big
What if
dog.
the Undertaker comes back to cost Orton the match against the Fiend or cost the Fiend? We do Undertaker and Fiend.
No, it's gonna be Cena. He's gonna appear in the. It's gonna be a pre-tape. You know what the whole thing's gonna be? Actually, I've got it. This is gonna be a cinematic match, and Cena's gonna show up in the cinematic stuff. And it's gonna be Cena versus Orton for SummerSlam, bro.
No, bro.
Yes.
No, bro.
Demon
Maybe
Cena. It's gonna be Fiend Cena. It's gonna be the Devil Cena. It's gonna be finally we'll get heel John Cena. It's gonna be like fucking super
Bill
Fiend
Cena, but he's a fucking
Shadow,
supernatural gimmick, and he dresses
Shadow
like the
John Cena.
Undertaker.
It's gonna be Shadow John Cena, and he loves anime, and he's gonna
But what
come
if
out.
they do a match? Hear me out. What if they have a Fiend possessed Cena go on a tear, and then he's confronted by the real Cena? So they
Yes,
have
I've
Cena versus Cena, and it's
seen.
like Nega Cena and the real Cena.
I
They
actually
have
had
that.
I had fantasy booked that exact match in my mind beforehand, and I was gonna before Lars Sullivan got called up, put Lars Sullivan with a big like John Cena like rubber face mask and have them wrestle each other. It's like fucking big monster Cena who's like been contorted and deformed into this monster, and Cena has to wrestle his shadow self to reclaim his true identity.
That would be some good shit.
That'd be
No, they
based.
could do it with cinematic match. They could have Cena wrestle himself. The
Yes.
modern, yeah. Can you
Oh my
imagine?
god, that'd be so key now. I can't even imagine how good that would be. Fuck. That would just
Cena's
turn this
just like
company
doing
around.
the bumps and stuff, and they edit it together, so it looks good.
That sounds great. Cena versus himself. Like I can't. That'd be great.
The main event this year should have been The Rock and Roman Reigns, though. I really think that would have been a real wrestling.
That would have been a good WrestleMania main event. But it didn't happen. You're cutting out PPP. You're there? Hello? PPP. Uh, hey,
Do you think Brock Lesnar comes back this year for a return?
no. I don't think there's gonna be a single return. It's gonna be all bullshit.
Oh, there has to be something that's a surprise or something that's special that they do.
I hope they do something, but what else can they do? Who's in the tank that they could pull out that could like make this show special?
Fuck. Bring Stone Cold out for a segment, I guess.
That'd be fine. They'll probably do that in Texas next year. The thing is, I think they'll do Rock versus Roman at the Hollywood WrestleMania, which they're going to do in 2 years. I think that's going to be the 2023 main event.
That's another 2 years away, though. I feel like the time for it would have been this year. I really do. I feel like Roman might not be as over in 2 years' time. People might be sick of it then.
I think the time might be to do it might be next year because I think they're planning on next year having a full capacity crowd or whatever. I don't think Rock would want to work anything but a full on true WrestleMania. Yeah. This is kind of a fake mania, whether we like to admit it or not. The COVID's kind of made it neutered the ship. Hopefully by this time next year, you can have a real WrestleMania show, and maybe Rock will come back for that.
Well, there are going to be fans, and that's one thing that's going to really immediately elevate this show above probably any other show, is that there are going to be real fans with real reaction.
That won't just clap. And I think the thing is, especially when I watch New Japan, AEW has fans, but they're really limited. They're in a small arena, and they're like, it's a pretty small crowd, honestly, for AEW. New Japan is actually a very good sized crowd. They've got probably like a WrestleMania sized crowd for a lot of these shows, but
they're quiet.
They can't cheer or boo. All they can do is clap. So it's like they're nothing there. It's even worse than having no fans or fake fans, because it's like it's fake. All they can do is clap, so the heels don't get heat, and babyfaces don't get as over as they should. So it's really bad over New Japan. So this will be the best. This will be the closest we've got to like a real big wrestling show in over a year, which will be nice. I don't know.
It will be nice, and so I'm hoping that it really elevates it and it turns out good. But we'll see. It's going to be a hell of a week, and we'll probably reconvene Friday.
Yeah, probably Friday. If someone says Mantar wants on, if the actual Shoot Mantar wants on our show, I will stop everything and interview Mantar on this show. Give me the word.
Who the fuck is Mantar?
The fucking guy with the Minotaur outfit in fucking the New Gen, bro.
What the fucking actual Mantar doesn't want to fucking call into the show.
I've met Mantar. I was at Joey Janela's Spring Break 2, night 2, and I was just hanging out in the back because I couldn't get a seat when I got in. And so I was just hanging out, and all the wrestlers were just walking out and like standing next to me. All right. I think we should call it here for tonight. I think I'm going to go to sleep. I kind of want to pass out.
Yeah, me too, buddy. We'll call it here.
We'll see you later. Oh, I think the stream just cut too. But we're back, I think. So, yeah, sorry, guys. We're going to sleep now. The stream cut out, but we're back. Mantar's not happening. We'll see y'all Friday for the day before WrestleMania. So we'll see you then, bros.
The SmackDown and maybe the TakeOver, depending on how much of the TakeOver we see in the Hall of Fame.
I'll watch AEW, too, I guess.
Fuck. There's AEW as well on Wednesday.
If you don't want to review, we can skip in to review SmackDown and TakeOver. I don't fucking give a shit.
I don't know. It depends what happens on the AEW this week.
I don't know. Good night, gentlemen. Sayonara.
Yeah.